right, so Mark and I went to Omega. They were heavy on the 007 stuff. These were just display models. The current unavailability could bode pretty well for the value of these in the future. I don't think we've got a new Snoopy on the horizon. But anyway, here were a few of the models in their Seamaster range. This is a very beautiful, well-balanced Aqua Terra. Minute markers on the rehaut, not something I typically like, but it works here. To its right, an Aqua Terra World Time. This is a watch I've really wanted to see in the flesh. This is the first time. This is a 43mm watch, and considering the style of the watch with a lack of a rotating bezel, I think it would be better at somewhere between 36 and 38, maybe 39. Here it is, 43mm on the wrist. It looks all right, but the best thing about an Aqua Terra is the subtlety of them, and you don't get that with this watch. Here's the display case back, kind of cheap sticker, not very aesthetically pleasing. Kind of weird that the rotor doesn't fall. I was trying to get it to fall, but it's kind of stuck up there. Now here, the shop staff is setting the watch, so she just hacked it. And the way you do it is you pull it out, and I guess this would be the furthest out position, and you set the watch. And once you've done that, you click it back in, then you pull it out to, I guess that would be the second position. And then it sort of acts like an Explorer 2 or a GMT Master 2, and you can jump that hour hand, and that's the way it works. And that's a real world time. I mean, if you've seen my live shows, the Zodiac was, that's not a real world time, looks the part. But world times are really cool. Really, my only gripe about this is just the size, and it's a little too thick. Couple of Speedmasters. Now, they didn't have the 3-2-1 movement 14,000 manual wind Speedmaster. That's no surprise. I think that's a really desirable watch here. But hey, compared to some place like Rolex, it's just cool to see models, flagship models in the case to buy. That looks like a reduced and, choices. In fact, some would say there are too many choices when it comes to the Speedmaster, but I'd much rather have a plethora of choices than a drought like when you go to the Rolex ADs. Now you could see the NATO straps in the back, 200 USD or so for a NATO strap. I've always wondered what Rolex would charge for a NATO strap if they sold them. Some more variations on the Speedmaster. You probably want to go with a more traditional look, but the advantage of these, it's got the date, and the date on this one, you can see it's at the 6. It's reading 8 right now, but it blends in, that one on the left. Right here, it doesn't blend in so much. Another shot of the NATOs. For me, the one on the right, less cliche, I think. And more, I want to say these are Speedmasters. They're certainly chronographs. We're working our way to this, the brand new Chronoscope. And this is not the most popular one in Japan. Well, I guess it would be sold if it was. The most popular one here in Japan is the white dialed version, which is surprising. I would have thought it would be the one with that unique chronograph second hand. Now, this is an attractive watch, but I'm going to tell you what killed it for me. Now, here I am. I'm watching the chronograph run, and I'm waiting for that totalizer on the right to tick over and show me 1 minute, like a Daytona, an Iconaut, a regular Speedmaster. But this watch doesn't work like that. As that chronograph second hand is going, that totalizer minute counter is slowly inching over. So it's not like a decisive 1 minute changeover on that subdial. In fact, you'll see nothing. You're going to see that chronograph second hand hit the 12, and you're not going to see any movement on that right-handed subdial. You can see it's already looking like it's pointing to 1. Well, that's because it slowly goes over. So not decisive at all. That was a real disappointment to me. Now, the reason is almost certainly because that totalizer on the right does both the minutes and the hours. And hours on chronographs, they don't switch over decisively. They just kind of creep over. So that's probably why. Here it is on the wrist. Looks great, but again, I like the minutes on a subdial to be counted decisively on a chronograph. Here you can see again what I'm talking about. So that chronograph hand is getting ready to hit the 12. And if you look on the subdial, you can see the minute is already pointing to 1 because, again, it just doesn't click over. And you got the minute hand and the hour hand on that right subdial. And here's a shot of the back. Again, that cheap-looking sticker. And this is a manual wind watch. Kind of cool, kind of pretty. I mean, I've seen better looking movements. again, one more time on the wrist. When it comes down to it, I would pass on this piece. I mean, it's an attractive piece, but it's got a very busy dial, and you've got all those graphs and counters. They're interesting conversation pieces, but you're never going to use any of them. And I think I'd get tired of the busyness of the dial. Now, here are all of them. The one in the middle is the one I thought would be the one to sell out, but the one on the left apparently is the one that's the one to get here in Japan. And here is why we went to Omega to drop off the Cosmic. You can see the spider dial right there. Beautiful. Look, it's going to cost like $500 for the service plus $200 for the parts plus tax. There's like a 97% chance I'm not going to do it. Just not worth it to me. There I am. There it is. And hell, I might not even pick it up. But I do love that spider dial. Maybe an independent's the way to go. Maybe I can find somebody to do it for like $300. At least just stick that second hand on. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.